Welcome back to the BKS Show, Week 2 Preview Show. We're here with Joe Sutt again and Sammy Esses. We're going to go over the games coming up in Week 2, break them down, give us the predictions with Joe Sutt's tally. The Goons will try to pick as best as we can, whereas leader Joe Sutt will try to keep his status as first place.
Lead dog.
3-1 in last week. Let's start off with your game coming up this week.
I can't pick it.
I know, but we could talk about it.
Sure.
We'll talk about Linsanity versus ELM and Od Milevado. So you got pitching-wise, David Azer against A.B. Cohen.
Yeah.
Not a matchup that most people would think about for a long time when you talk about pitchers only.
No, but I don't think that A.B. Cohen's lineup is as strong as Linsanity's. I do think A.B. is definitely by far, without a question, no doubt about it, the best pitcher on the field on Sunday.
Yeah.
And if anybody else thinks otherwise, including yourself, Azer, you're crazy. But I think Linsanity's lineup is a very good one. So that's all I have to say. I'm not going to make any predictions.
I mean, the key factor in this game is Linsanity, our team, with a lot of young players.
Sure.
And how are they going to be able to handle
Right.
A.B. Cohen?
Right. Well, I would say the inverse of that, my biggest factor of the game, the week of this game would have been, how does A.B. Cohen bounce back? He pitched very well last week.
He's bouncing back from him.
He pitched well last week, but even I think that he'll admit to you, he didn't pitch A.B. Cohen well.
It's week 1.
Okay.
It's 40 degrees.
A.B.
You know what? It's 40 degrees. Look at the weather report for Sunday.
Okay.
A high of 57. There's no such thing as high when we're talking about 9:15 in the morning over there by Canarsie. So it ain't going to be anywhere near 57.
Okay.
It's going to be very cold Sunday
Since
morning.
when does A.B. Cohen pitch out of his mind in the first 3 weeks of the season?
You're right. Good. Okay, good point. What I'm saying is that I think your hitters will eat it up.
Okay. Bezrat Hashem.
So what's your prediction?
Od Milevado.
Oh, we're going to jump into the predictions. I think that you see Linsanity in a sweep.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Big, bold prediction. I just feel that, like Joe Sutt alluded to before, A.B. Cohen's hitting is not as strong as I think that anybody expected it to be.
Again, but last week A.B. didn't have Jamie. Jamie's the team.
It's a great point. I'm really starting to regret my pick.
You picked it already, so you're done.
It's locked in. No problem. Locked in.
But Jamie, the guy just hit.
But the
I've seen
weather
the guy hit
forecast.
balls. I've seen Jamie hit balls that have still not landed.
Okay, but the
That's a
weather
lot to say.
forecast is under 50. What do you think about Jamie then?
It's not. Jamie's awesome.
Will he be there?
Yeah, Jamie's gonna be there.
Okay,
Jamie's not
Jay, how you
traveling.
feeling
He'll
this
be
week?
there. Next game.
Next game. We'll move on to Stephen Gindy against Ralph Cohen's team. So you have X Factor against No Deal. How does Mavora recover?
Eddie Albaz versus Mavora.
Yeah, Eddie Albaz versus how does Mavora recover coming off a sweep?
I think the intensity in Ike Mavora's face, in his demeanor after the game last week he was so intense that he will not allow himself to lose a game this week. That's how strong. He will make sure that everybody on his team is there. He will make sure everybody on his team is there early, prepared, and ready to go. I got Ike M in a sweep.
Since you're running this whole thing, is this like around the horn where we have to disagree, or could we agree on something?
Pretty good.
All right. That being said, I'm not going to agree with you on this one. I think that Ike Mavora does come out and win Game 1 handily, because he will be upset. He will have the fire, the intensity, the desire to win. But Game 2, Stephen Gindy gets his troops calm. They bounce back, they recover, and they win Game 2. Split.
Stephen Gindy's team is very nice. Very nice team. They have a very strong lineup, him and Joe S. But I just think Ike Mavora needs to take 2, get his team back at 500.
Right.
And that's the way I feel.
Will
What do you-
Mavora have a team?
So Mavora should have his whole team there.
Okay.
All the guys should be back.
I know. By
Well,
the
there
way,
were replacements. I heard there were some replacements for Sardo.
So Mike
Did
Sardo
you throw
was
that
out
out?
for the year, and they got Sabag to replace him.
Who's that? So you said Sabag in the email. Say there's a lot of people with the last name
Young
Sabag.
kid, 17, 18-year-old kid.
Not Sammy.
no, that kid that
Oh,
played
the
in the park.
lefty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good ball
Nice
player.
player.
Yeah,
Nice
he's a good
player.
ball player. Let's see.
No,
I'd
Mike
like to
Sardo.
see- I'd like to see this kid in the
Nice
league.
kid.
He's a good player.
Mhm.
Right, I think he's actually on Magen David High School.
Which Whamma coaches.
Right, so
So Wham was recruiting his players from Friday to come play on Sunday. That's against NCAA violations for sure.
Well, we're allowing it. Another underlining story here is you have Ike Mavor against Eddie Elbaz, and Ike's probably going to kill me for saying this, but for years, Eddie Elbaz and Ike played together and won multiple championships.
Really?
And then Ike decided that he wanted to, Ike became a pitcher. So now, I don't want to say student versus teacher type of thing, but
Protege mentor.
I don't know how you want to phrase it, but this is going to be an interesting matchup because
That's a good point. I'd like to look out for that on Sunday.
So that's-
is there any animosity between the two?
I don't think so. No.
Okay,
But,
just
but
asking.
there's a lot of history there, so it should be a nice matchup. And I'm going to agree with Joe. I'm going to take the no-deal Mavor team in a sweep. I think with their full team on paper, they have a great lineup, great
Again,
players.
that's if they all show up. If they all show up,
Right, you can't make a prediction on that half a team.
But the early indications on the injury report is they're all going to be there.
right.
And they have, I think they're going to, Stephen Gindy's team is strong, but I think Eddie Elbaz as a pitcher is not going to be able to shut down that lineup.
Right. Okay. Now, so you have Ike Mavor back. You guys, both of them have them back at
Right.
500 at 2-2. Stephen Gindy being 1-3.
I think Lou's sending his picks in now, but I think it was a split, if I'm not mistaken. If anybody cares about Lewis, I don't. But, yeah.
Wow. Don't care about Lewis.
Next.
All right. Next, I'm going to call this definitely the matchup of the week, if not the matchup of the year.
In week 2.
I wonder if that's your game.
Yeah, it's my game. Gladiators versus Deal Breakers. Deal Breakers came out last week. They took the sweep against a half a team. Good win by the Rangers tonight.
Nate B versus.
Good win by the Rangers
Yeah,
tonight.
big win.
Nate B versus Ike Malik.
Right.
Another dream matchup. I can't pick on this game, so you guys can dissect and talk about all you want.
Alright, so I think, we all love Nate B. We're all happy he's back in the league. But I'm not convinced after this week's performance that he's definitely potential to be,
Right.
but is he that top level pitcher yet? And facing Ike Malik, who is probably the best that Brooklyn has to offer, arguably, can he compete with that? So this week, Eddie Ritchie's still not on his honeymoon.
Right.
So anyway, she's in this week.
He is in this week.
Alright.
So I'm gonna go with the split here, just because I think both teams are pretty equal. But it will be interesting to see how Navy faces against a full team
Right.
as opposed to a hit.
I would have to say the same thing. I don't think, looking back in the stats, I don't think Nate pitched fantastic last week. Yes, he pitched well enough to get his team to 2 wins. I don't think that he pitched crazy Navy style.
Because of who was pitching, and also he wasn't pitching against a full lineup.
For sure. He wasn't pitching against a full lineup, and it's still early in the season. I don't expect Nathan to be pitching lights out. I don't expect Ike. I don't expect AB. I don't expect, especially in the cold weather. We're not talking, May baseball here. We're talking early in the season, and these guys.
Barely
it's cold.
April.
Exactly. It's cold.
Freezing.
It's cold. So I don't think that Nate is going to be able to be strong enough to win 2, nor Ike to be strong enough to win 2.
Right.
So I do think it's going to be a split. Both very close games, and I'm going to go with a split.
Being that we're talking about this game, I just have to give a shout out to the vocal leader on my team, catcher and utility infielder Chucky Abadi. This guy, I never saw anybody coach third the way Chucky Abadi coaches third. It's much more meaning than most people standing on third and just saying go.
By the way,
No. This guy is the leader of the team on the field and in the clubhouse because of the way that he teaches the young folk how to play ball, positioning,
I heard
base
the only
running. Unbelievable.
I heard the only guy that he yells at is you, though.
I did get my fair share of beef, but I also got the car ride in and out with Chucky, so I definitely came out on top in that regard. But he gives it to you if you deserve it, no matter of your relationship with him. So
Eddie Arani just told me he changed his eye doctor.
he's going.
I love
Yeah, he's actually driving a deal. He's moving. He's driving.
Eddie Arani loves Chucky.
Yeah, he's gonna go to West Park Avenue and go get eye exams out
Right.
there. Chucky's the best like that. Any breakout stars you have off the top of your head for this week, guys, that you wouldn't expect to give you a 6 for 8 or a 4 for 6? You know, I don't know, maybe 4 RBI, a triple, a home run here. Anybody that you could think off the top of your head?
I really only saw our game. You know, I haven't seen a lot of the other teams.
I think your game is actually the right game to choose from.
I think I'm going to
have...
go on our team. Somebody to look at. As Sammy mentioned, Michael Solomon hits the ball hard.
Right.
This Matthew Ingber kid is good player, but I think with the lineup of the youngsters that we have, somebody that's getting overshadowed very easily is Barry Anteby. 4 for 6 last week, 4 RBIs. It brings the kids to the game.
Didn't need to bring Sunblock this week.
No, he's great. He's very good. That's who I have as a breakout.
Do you have anybody, or it's a tough pick? I can tell you my pick in the meantime while you're thinking about it.
Now, tell me Nate Shearer that we just went 7 for 8. That's not a breakout.
I'm not going to tell you a guy who's hitting 875. No, that doesn't make sense. But I will tell you somebody who's related to Nate Shearer. Mike Chira had a couple of at-bats last week where you could see that he's a quarter of an inch, an eighth of an inch away from really driving the ball. He's been working on it all week. I know that he's been working out and getting in the cages and doing simulated swings down in the basement.
Dropped 92 pounds.
Yeah, he dropped, 16.5% body weight. The guy's unbelievable. I think that Michael Chira, you see him start driving through the ball. He'll give you a nice performance this week. And again, not to just rain on my own team, but I think that a guy like Eddie Rani, with not much expectation coming into this league, is going to surprise a lot of people.
Against Navy.
Mm-hmm. A guy who never faced Navy before.
Wow.
Yeah,
we need to get somebody. By the way, we need to get somebody on the show from
the
Deal
team that I'm
Breakers.
playing.
From Deal Breakers. Because they're 2-0, and we've yet to say 2 words about them because nobody watched that game.
What do you got to say?
That's all I gotta say.
We said before how maybe they played very well, but they played against a short-handed team. Again,
what do you got
no
to
disrespect. No disrespect to Deal Breakers, but they played against a short-handed team. Now that's not to say that if no deal had a full team, Deal Breakers wasn't going to sweep them. Maybe they would have, but I don't know.
Right, Sam, what do you got to break out?
I'm going to go with, from No Deal, I'm going to go with A.B. Hitter. Guy who was in the league before. Very excited to be back. Has the potential to be a great bat. And I'm excited. And against...
Time out. Don't make fun of my leg and then cross your leg.
Well, because now I know that we're winding down here. I'm getting relaxed and chilled. I think that I'm crossed like a man. You're crossed like a lady.
Okay.
No?
All right.
Thank you, Sam.
But,
so you got A.B. Hitter.
I'm going to go with A.B. Hitter this week.
I hope he's not playing center again this week.
Right. By the way, I just wanted to mention to the league that we like to hear everybody's feedback and comments and concerns and critique and topics for us to talk about. So anybody that wants to mention anything to any of the 3 of us on the field on Sunday, love to hear it. We love to hear that you guys are watching the show. We love to hear any type of critique, but also there's the message board on the website.
Right.
I would like anybody to get the guest
book.
book. The guest book on the website. Anybody could go on, type any message that they want anonymously, put their name on it. They can make it very exciting and something very entertaining.
Just keep it clean.
Yeah, keep it clean. But towards the middle of the season last year, it got to be very fun, and it's really like a live blog where people just can comment.
I mean, look at this. You got to look at Stephen Rudy throwing a shout out to Whamma. Sorry, your stint off the DL was so short. Hope you feel better.
Rudy, by the way, is the #1 guest book guy.
He's the #1 website guy. I really don't think that Rudy works. I think that he just looks at SY Softball like, we love you for that, Rudy. We love you.
And so anyways, that was just something that we wanted to let you guys know. But again, always a pleasure to see everybody on the field, and we look forward to an amazing week 2. See you Sunday.